Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be replacing the auxiliary or serpentine belt, tensioner and rollers on this Mercedes E220d. So let's dive straight on in. So I made a little start here just to make the start of the video easier. I've clearly removed the engine cover, which is over there, and the cover over the computer. And then I have removed the air intake pipe. So if you watch the air cleaner video, you'll see how to remove it from this end. And then all I've done down here, because this should be really a bit simpler, but it's not, is remove these T20 screws. Then had to undo the clip to force this out and break where it sort of hooks into this little plastic surround from under here. And then put a screwdriver through under there to release the bottom clip, and then that comes away. And then you've got this cover here that covers the whole belt, and this is really simple. This is a pull-on push-on attachment, a bit like the engine cover, and you've got one here. It is quite tight. There's one there, there's one under there, and then if you look down in the gap, you'll see that it lifts out from that corner and it lifts out from in there. Okay, and then this comes out. Now if I wasn't making a video, I'll probably do that with this air box intact still, just having removed it from there and work around it dangling in front of me. But for clarity, we'll go with what's in here now. So we've got quite good light. You can see the way the belt snakes around. So up here you've got the water pump, alternator, free pulley, tensioner. The bottom is the air conditioning, and then the bottom here is the crankshaft. And what we're going to do is you only need to do three things. One is release the tensioner, undo this pulley, and then there's two bolts here for the tensioner to come off and feed it all back on. But we'll work through that slowly in real time, and then hopefully you should see how it all fits. I have already done this, so I know how it fits in terms of where the belt loops, but my advice is just take a quick picture before you start. So I've got the new tensioner here to make it easier to show you what I'm going to do on the old tensioner. So you need a T60 piece that goes in there, and then because of the tools I've got available at the moment, I didn't bring down my full ratchet set because I'm not in my usual place. You then need to turn this when it's fixed in the car anti-clockwise, and that will release the tension from the tensioner and allow you to take the belt off. So let me do that now. I'll set the camera up and you can see what I'm going to do. So as you can see, that's just released the tension from here. I can now go ahead and remove the belt, but I'm not going to do that yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the rest of the tensioner, which is two bolts here. There's one here and one just below my finger down here. Okay, and they're external T12s. And then there's this one here, which is a T14, which should come off. So I'm going to do that first, take those off and replace those items. So I put the new freewheel pulley on here, and just done it up so it's nice and tight. I can't find a torque spec for it anywhere, and that's good. And then obviously I've just put this one on, which is the tension. I've left the pin in, we'll pull that out when the belt's on, with the bolt here and the bolt down the bottom. So what I'm now going to do, and it's really hard because I can't quite film it when you're in order to show you really simply, but what I will be doing now is just rethread the belt back round, and then I'll show you what that looks like when I've done. Belt on, as you can see, all routed round, and all I need to do now is just pull the tensioner, which I'll try and do on camera if it'll let me. No, I'm going to have to use two hands for that because I don't want to damage the radiator. Then I'll come back to you and we'll go for a first start. So I've just pulled the pin out, that's all good. You can move the belt that way in a clockwise direction. You can just check everything flows nicely. In terms of tension on the previous one, so the previous belt's done 160,000 kilometers now. The deflection here was that this, when I pushed down, I could almost touch this pulley here for the tensioner, and you could feel the tensioner moving. And actually, when I just stretched the two belts out on the floor before I put them on, I'd say the old belt was about 5 centimeters longer than this belt. That's how much it stretched. And the issue I was having was my oil temperature was getting really quite warm, and that's when I knew something was wrong. Anyway, this is it. So as you can see, you've only got maybe 5 or 6 millimeters of deflection along there, and clearly everywhere else is really nice and tight, but it does flow nice and freely. So I'm going to start it up now. There we go. That's an absolute cold start. You will notice down there that the air conditioning pump is not moving because it's not switched off, and I'll switch that on in the test. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, it's a bit warm working out here in the sun. It is about 30 degrees down here in lovely Bavaria today, but so a little bit warm. I would say if I wasn't filming that, reality, I could do that job in somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. Clearly you need to make sure the engine's cold when you do it. I'll leave the part number and stuff in the video description for the kit. It's about 75 euros. I think it's about 70 pounds in UK from what I've seen. You can buy the belt on its own, but I thought I heard a bit of a squeak from that pulley, and actually listen to it now, that squeak's definitely gone. So I think it's probably false economy not to repair the pulley and stuff. So hopefully you find that useful. If you do, please like, comment. I know lots of people do comment, and I will always try to answer questions if I can. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. That really helps the channel, helps me. And yeah, see you in the next video. As ever, take care guys. Bye bye.